I mean this in the nicest way, but a lot of you haven't met the average person. You guys have not met the average person. You might have had a couple of bad apples in your world, but you actually have never really been exposed to the average person. The internet allows you guys to see that the average person does not have a high IQ. They don't have emotional intelligence. They don't have self-awareness. They aren't privy to what's going on spiritually, emotionally, politically, financially. The average person is very much so unaware.
Most people are very narcissistic today. They don't pay attention to other people. If they paid attention to other people, then they would be more accurate in what is the average person. I remember when I started this page, I used to non-stop get comments of people saying, well, not all women, right? Or they would say, you're only talking about dysregulated women. That was my favorite one, as if a dysregulated woman was like 10% of of all women, right? As if like the vast majority of women, like 90% of women are regulated. Can you imagine? Right? Like how silly is that? Right? And or people will be like, that's a generalization. Well, obviously it's a generalization. That's what a body of work would be, a generalization. And like, what is that, a slight as to what I'm doing? Well, an accurate generalization is a very good thing. And that's what I'm communicating to you guys. Of course, there are outliers and exceptions, but the chances that you are going to tangle with an outlier and an exception is very rare. You're probably not going to, right? Like, you're probably not. The way some of you talk about, yeah, but not all women, like, yeah, John, and what makes you think you're going to have access to these special, beautiful women who are regulated, healthy, high in nature, value driven, having their needs met, not suffering from childhood traumas, addictions, PTSDs, a woman who has your best interest at heart, like your mum. How many other individuals have you met in this world who actually has your best interest at heart? What are we talking about, right? Most people are average. So when I'm going through my content and I'm talking about dark side, dark tetrad, how to deal with these elements of other people, how to deal with the lower natures of other people, how to deal with the lower nature of the woman, how to overcome these things and then lead her and then direct her to a favorable outcome for the both of you or just yourself. I'm talking about your average person. I can even lump in there the majority of people who are better than average if we're using this ranking system or this metric system that we are talking about. I'll say most average people and people who are better than average are people who don't self-reflect, are not self-aware, do not know who they are. So why the hell would they know who you are? Cannot be bothered to discover the self. So I don't know why the hell you think they can be bothered to discover you and unravel you. This is the vast majority of people. I remember in one of my earlier videos, I was basically saying, listen, past a certain age, if you are single, seeking another person, seeking love, seeking things for another person, you are a crab at the bottom of the barrel, competing with other crabs. Now, I remember a commenter, he didn't like that, and I think, well, it was earlier times, right? And I think maybe he felt like I was being a bit smug because I'm not in that situation and I'm almost looking down at people who are. That's not true. I'm saying that is just the truth. If I was to not be in my position and now I've got to seek and go out there from scratch, trying to find these things from scratch, I will be a crab at the bottom of the barrel as well, because that's just the truth. People of true value, these unicorns we're talking about, they're taken, they're gone. They've been taken since school. From school, they're gone, right? They're suitors and the next suitor and the suitor after that. It's already been prepared. The conveyor belt is already there. People of true value is very slim. People who can truly see you, hear you and understand you, people who can actually be present, people who are actually empathetic. Do you know the small percentage of human beings that are actually empathetic, that are regulated enough to be able to put themselves to the side so they can actually accommodate other people, to host other people truly? Do you know how regulated and do you know how self-actualized you need to actually be in order to be empathetic to another person? How many people are having all of their needs met and then graduated into their higher nature? Slim. So if you're out there on dating apps, on the streets, looking for love, looking for these things past a certain age, the age, past the developmental stage where you're supposed to have already done these things and invested in something and secured something. If you're doing that, you're going to be a crab in the bottom of the barrel, because do you know how your average person is? Do you know how people are out there? Do you know how many people don't even have an inner monologue? Do you know how many people, do you know what the average person is like? If I was to lose what I had got going on for myself, and I got to go out there seeking things from scratch, I'm going to be a crab in the bottom of the barrel as well. That's just the dynamic of how it is, fellas. That's what you're contending with out there. The vast majority of human beings are in their lower nature and probably will not graduate out of that. Just that simple. Doesn't want to. Refuse to look into the mirror. Refuse to address their projections. Addicted to their lower nature. That's the vast majority of human beings. When you fully understand this, you'll stop seeking these special people, right? You'll stop seeking these special unicorn-like people you're not going to have access to. There are some human beings who, do you know there are some human beings who never, ever meet a higher type? They've never, ever had the privilege of meeting and being around, having access to someone in their higher nature. Someone who's empathetic and present and enjoying life and abundant and seductive. Some people have never met them. That's why you'll meet some women and they'll be like, oh man, I've never met a man. Fellas, you got to understand, a lot of women have never, ever come face to face with a masculine man. They never had a dad, and they've just not been in the radius or in the same area as a masculine man. Some women have never met one.
That's why when we have these conversations, you guys have that false sense of empathy to be like, well, we should just educate. I don't think you've ever been around the average person. They cannot be educated because they're not receptive. And you think I'm being smart when I'm telling you, like, please shut the fuck up. Because if you actually were exposed to the average person at the capacity that I am, you'd be like, yeah, the world is suffering. I'm telling you. You guys are so used to people belittling you and undermining your intelligence that when people are calling out matters that need to be addressed, you automatically go into protection mode of the inner child at the point in time where you maybe weren't taught, or you weren't, it wasn't explained to you. That's why I'm asking questions. That's why I'm making the statements very directly, because most people have a very short attention span, and they also have to learn things quickly. Y'all don't have enough attention span to learn things at a larger, at a slower pace, I mean. So that's why there's no fluff. And I'm telling you, the reason why you are always having this false sense of empathy, because you have not been exposed to the average person.
Please stop overhandling your relationships. I'm begging you, because more relationships die from overhandling than almost anything else. Every day is something. Are we okay? You've been quiet. Is something wrong? Do you still love me? I just wanted to check in. No, you wanted to check up. You're treating the relationship like a carcass you're not fully convinced is alive. You keep poking it and poking it and poking it, and eventually you're going to be right. It's going to be dead, and it's not because something was wrong. It's because you will not stop touching.
In my recent videos, I've been introducing you guys to the concept of one-way love, and I've told you guys that one-way love is masculine. This is how the masculine man loves. This is the reason why tough love is considered as masculine. The reason why women do not give people tough love is because they are afraid of, if they say something and they offend this person, if this person will stop wanting to have a relationship with them, right? So they put their needs of wanting to have people around them over what is actually best for the individual that they supposedly love, right? And so one-way love, the masculine love, is the idea of loving something without any strings attached, all right? It's feminine to reciprocate and to match energy. That's because women are calculated and meticulous in the things that they do. So they do something expecting something back in return. This is how women have their relationships amongst women, and this is how women have their relationships with you as well, all right? And so when a woman is dealing with you and she realizes that you also match energy and you also need to reciprocate, you won't do something without the certainty of reciprocation, showing that you only can pour into someone else if they are also pouring into you. You expose yourself as being like the woman. The woman is able to see herself in you, and automatically then she knows her red flags and she'll assign those red flags onto you, and she will be correct. So the man's love, the man who is tasked with providing and protecting, his love is a form of charity. He loves because he loves. He put himself together in a certain type of way that means that he has certain values and certain things in this world that he loves. It brings him meaning, adds color to his life, and he has a desire to protect. Most masculine men have a desire to protect innocence and purity because they had to give up their innocence and purity somewhere along the line on their masculine journey, and they didn't want to give up their innocence and their purity, so they love innocence and purity. And when they see other things that are innocent and pure, it reminds him of the aspect of himself he had to get rid of. This is the reason why men like women who are enthusiastic, feminine, happy, joyful, pure, innocent, forgiving, optimistic, playful, because it's a way to reunite himself with the aspects of himself that he had to integrate into the shadow. So in a previous video, I told you guys that the bulk of my success with women comes from the fact that I don't need a woman to love me. I've never really valued a woman's love because it's not love. It's not how I conceptualize love. It's not one-way love. It's not the type of love I practice, and the type of love I practice is the type of love that I value. The woman's love isn't something that I value. I don't value codependency. I don't value separation anxiety. I don't value addiction to trauma. I don't value somebody desperately trying to prove something to themselves through having a specific outcome with me. I don't value limerence. I don't value somebody who is outsourcing everything onto me emotionally and psychologically because they can't be bothered to provide these things to themselves. I don't value somebody who needs my disempowerment in order for them to feel powerful. I don't value somebody who needs me to feel insecure in order for them to feel secure. I don't value these things. These things are a hindrance to me. So the woman's love has always been a hindrance to me. And it's not something that I've wanted from a woman. The things that I've wanted for a woman is for her to follow the rules, for her to be nice and juicy, to have nice feet, hip to waist ratio, body. I value a woman respecting me, and I value a woman being free when I'm free. These are the things that I value. So as long as I've had these things from a woman, I've never needed or seeked or even longed for the woman's love. I have a mother who has been overzealous in my life and helicopter parented me my whole life. I've had my mom's extreme concern and sympathy and pity in abundance my entire life, right? You know, I've had to deal with all of the negative aspects of that there. All right. And still to this day, it's something that I've got to endure and overcome, right? My mom's codependent love that she has for me, right? Codependency is a lower value. It's the animal in us. It's lower nature things, right? I don't value the fact that women see codependency as a higher value. Women really aspire towards codependency like it's a achievement, like it's something of great value. It's not, right? Because if you aspire towards codependency, this means that you aspire towards limerence and infatuation and obsession. So it's never been something I valued, right? And because it's never been something I valued, it means that I've never emotionally longed onto women. And because I've never emotionally longed for women, this means that I've never outsourced these things onto a woman. And something I explain to you guys all of the time, that Everything that you outsource onto other people, those are going to be things that make you unattractive. And everything that you provide for yourself, that you give to yourself, everything that you no longer outsource onto others and you now give to yourself, from codependency to independence, these are things that make you attractive.
You keep putting your hands on the relationship every time it breathes differently. They get quiet, you touch it. They get stressed, you touch it. They have a difficult week at work, you touch it. They need an evening alone, you touch it. Every normal fluctuation in another human being becomes another reason for you to grab the relationship, turn it over, and examine its underside. You have built an entire moral philosophy around this. You call it communication, or checking in, or emotional maturity, or addressing things before they get worse, or caring too much. You have given your anxiety the language of virtue. This is why you cannot see what you're doing. You think because the urge feels responsible, that acting on it must be responsible. It's not. Your anxiety has convinced you that it's the only adult in the relationship. It keeps standing up in the middle of ordinary life demanding another meeting. Your partner literally cannot be tired without a meeting. They cannot be distant for one afternoon without a meeting. They cannot answer differently than usual without a meeting. That is the whole issue. They cannot experience grief, pressure, distraction, embarrassment, exhaustion, or simple interiority without you dragging the relationship into a conference. That's the whole complaint. Some of you have never let your partner have an emotion without making the relationship attend to it. That is not closeness. That is administrative capture. Your partner had a terrible day at work, and before they even finished having the terrible day, guess what you're talking about? Are we okay? Now they have two jobs. Survive the day that hurt them and stop you from making it about the relationship. They come home quiet now. Because now they have to explain that the silence is not withdrawal too. They're exhausted. And now they have to prove that their exhaustion is not resentment. They want to be alone. Now solitude has an accusation. You keep turning humanity into a form of paperwork. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Every emotion needs a report. Every silence needs an explanation. Every change in tone needs an investigation. And every delayed text needs context. Every bad week needs reassurance that the relationship is still breathing just for you. Just for you to have it. Do you understand how exhausting it is to be loved by someone who keeps checking your pulse? How irritating that is? How frustrating that really is? How exhausting it can be? You stopped being allowed to experience your own life. That was the problem. You became responsible for continuously proving that their fear is mistaken. That's the whole pain. And the sickest part is that you will never call their is that by the end, I want you to really get it. I ain't even gonna say that. By the end, you will call their exhaustion evidence. You will poke them until they pull away. You sure will. And then you will point at that distance that you created. And guess what you'll say? See, I knew something was wrong. I almost got
no, I actually got
out
of my seat hearing that, because how fucking frustrating is that? This is what I'm trying to explain to you guys, right? You guys who valued a woman's love so highly, incorrectly valued a woman's love because you believe she can give you the similar love that your mother's given you, or the mother that you didn't have.
Okay, I'll tell you guys a story.
All right.
I stopped talking to a man because he told me that he had a rough day. He just wanted a hug. That's so sassy. If you don't man up.
Wow, sir. And do everything wrong with the woman, because the truth of the matter is the woman's love is wrong. It's not valuable. It's not good. The way the woman loves you, that's how she loves herself. That's why her life is so shy. That's why she's so stressed, so dysregulated, all over the place. Her own worst enemy is because of how she loves. Right? You guys value it too much. You guys try to actually try to give your woman will be like, my love language is all of the love languages. And you guys will actually try to meet it. Like it's narcissism, it's lower nature, it's sociopathy, psychopathy in some areas. Right? You guys value the woman's love too much, and that's where you go wrong. That's where you go wrong. Not only do you value it, you long for it. Not only do you long for it, right? You know, you outsource it. You guys are outsourcing codependency. You entertain it, and this is what makes you not a leader. This is why women leave you, because the woman is trying to save herself from herself. So she deals with men thinking that these men might be able to save her from herself. But no, you enable her. You give her all the things she asks for, all the things that she wants from the mouth. You're not empathetic. You're not able to see this creature in front of you and see what it needs and what it doesn't need, regardless of what it says out of its confused mouth. When I deal with a woman, something that I communicate to them is that, yeah, like, the value of love is completely different. Like, I don't really need a woman's love. I don't really need it. I don't want it. I don't want a woman's love. I want the woman though, but I don't want a woman's love. I don't want that type of love. Every woman that I've dealt with, it's like they love me involuntary. They love me because I appease the neurochemistry. They love me because I'm something that is easy to become obsessed over. They love me because I don't love them and accept them the same way everybody else loves them and accepts them. They love me because they're not good enough and I'm a perfect thing for them to prove some things to themselves for. I don't value the woman's love, right? And you guys need to also do the same. Every man that I've ever met who has no success with women values the woman's love, emotionally longs for women. I don't know why you would emotionally long for a woman. You're supposed to you have all the tools to save the woman from her emotional distress. But yet you want a woman to save you from your emotional distress? All you will receive is a punishment by the Lord for this stupidity.
Got up and walked away from y'all. I want you to really get it. All you did was keep touching the bruise, and then you congratulated yourself for finding pain. That's not calling every inspection an act of love. Right. Stop calling it that. Every inspection is not an act of love. Love inspects like this, right? I want you to get it. We're going to move away. I'm going to separate the two words for you just so you really understand it. Love says one thing. How are you? That's all love says. Inspection asks this. What does how you are mean about me? Do you hear how ridiculous this shit is? Those are not the same question. Love is interested in the person. Inspection is interested in relief. Love can remain present while another person is upset. Inspection needs the upset resolved so the inspector can feel safe again. So, to even get this, I need you to understand something. If you cannot stop poking the relationship every time your partner is distressed, you are not taking care of the relationship. You are using the relationship to regulate yourself. You are making another person's nervous system clock in every time yours becomes uncomfortable. That's all that's going on. Outsourcing your ability to tolerate uncertainty. And then we call the labor intimacy. But that belief does need to die. Your partner is allowed to be upset without it becoming an emergency. They are. They're allowed to have a day that does not include reassuring you. Yep. They're allowed to change moods without filing a notice. I'm trying to keep you right. They're allowed to go quiet without the relationship being declared missing. Right, let's keep going. They're allowed to be a human being near you without constantly proving that they still love you, and you are allowed to stop working as hard. That's all I'm trying to tell you. You don't even realize how cognitively expensive it is to overhandle anyone. I'm just trying to tell you. It's become normal for you to spend hours checking and replaying and interpreting and anticipating and preparing questions and softening questions and asking questions and regretting questions and then analyzing the answer to the question. You are working a second full-time job for a relationship that never hired you.
When I'm dealing with a woman, honestly, it's almost as if I'm present and I'm having a fun time and I'm enjoying stuff, and they're just calculated. Just calculate or continuously thinking and scheming and pre-planning things. I don't even really pay attention to all of their schemes and what they're doing. I don't really pay attention to it. They're always scheming and putting things together. I couldn't pay attention to it. Like, there's too many things going on, right? So I kind of have this filtering system that alerts me when something is happening that I should kind of look into or pay attention to. But outside of that, I'm just not really paying attention to them. I'm not taking the things that they're doing seriously. The reason why the woman's love is bad, fellas, when you get into an intersexual dynamic with a woman, your love has to defeat her love. Her love is something you overcome. Her love is a dragon you slay. Right? You got to slay this dragon, and then eventually you got to sharpen the sword and give her the sword, and eventually she's going to help you slay this dragon. You're both slaying this dragon. Her love is what you overcome. It's her codependency. It's the things that she's trying to, and this is why it's so bad, right? This is the reason why you fellas who outsource these things onto the woman, outsource anything onto the woman, emotionally long for the woman, you're punished when you find it. You're punished when you find it because you don't know what you're looking for. You don't know what you're seeking. You know, the whole thing where they say, I'm looking for love in all of the wrong places. Yeah, because if you're looking for love, you're never going to find it, because love doesn't want to be seeked. Love is something you give to yourself. You you generate love through your own inner flame, through providing yourself with things, through not outsourcing things. That's how you provide yourself with love. You fill yourself up with this vitality and this grandiosity, and you protect it, right? And then so you actually have something to give, right? And as I said, it's something that comes from a place of abundance and something you give out. It's something that you love. It's got nothing to do with anybody else. Who you love is a projection of yourself and the things that give meaning to you. The woman's love is nothing like that. There's no difference between control and abuse mechanisms and a woman's love.
And when you finally stop, guess what happens when you finally stop? It's almost offensive how easy love becomes. Your partner's quiet? Okay. That's it? They had a bad day? Okay. That's it. They sound different? Okay. They're upset and you don't know why yet? Okay. Nothing collapses. Nothing dies because the relationship does not disappear just because you stop holding it in your hands. Your mind gets to go quiet. Your partner gets their humanity back. And a bad day is just a bad day. Silence becomes silence. Work becomes work. Tired becomes tired. And the relationship gets to be a place where two people live instead of an emergency room where every human experience is dragged in for an evaluation. Take your hands off it. That's all I'm telling you. Not because you don't care, though. Not because you don't care. But because it is alive. And living things need room to move without being mistaken for dying. Please stop overheating.
Fellas, go follow this guy. I'll put his information in the bio. He's the best. He's the best. Honestly, this is the guy. I really, really, really like him. Go follow him. Fellas, the reason why people are unable to win over 8, 9's, and 10's, especially women, right? So the reason why men are unable to win over 8, 9's, and 10's is because they mythologize 8, 9's, and 10's. So when they're face to face with this mythological god that they spend time mythologizing, their nervous system is too aroused, right? So they're excited and delighted and aroused. They're up high, right? And this makes them unattractive, right? There's nothing more unattractive than an aroused man, a sexually aroused man. That's the worst version of yourself. You can't think, you can't talk, you can't put together things coherently. You're too attached to an outcome. You're just weird and unattractive, right? And so that's why men are unable to win over 8, 9's, and 10's, because they can't sort out their autonomic nervous system. You should be in a relaxed state. Your eyes shouldn't be dilated. Your heart shouldn't be beating. Your palms shouldn't be sweaty, right? You shouldn't be thinking about what should I say next, and am I coming across in the right way? That's why men can't win over 8, 9's, and 10's. But the reason why women can't win over 8, 9's, and 10's is because they only know how to interact with the world and other people through control and abuse mechanisms. So when they fall in love with a man, right, they are so obsessed with controlling how they're being perceived, controlling how he's experiencing things, trying to control how he's thinking, how he's feeling, his motivations. She's so obsessed with this outcome, and because she attaches her self-worth, her future, everything onto how things transpire with this man, she becomes so obsessed with controlling everything he's experiencing, right? And not only does this put her into the masculine position, because it's the man that's supposed to be providing the woman with an experience, right? But so not only is she doing that, but she's also unable to be attractive. She might look attractive, but none of her behaviors is attractive. All of her behaviors will push any human being away from her. Obsession is not attractive, right? So a woman like this will want to see you all the time. We want to communicate with you all of the time. We want reassurance from you. We want consistency from you. You're so sensitive to everything that you do, right? A woman who's in love with you can't even watch TV with a woman who's in love with you, right? Because you'll look in your peripheral and you'll see how she keeps checking to see, are you enjoying this? Are you enjoying me? Am I good enough? Am I good enough to sit alongside you watching TV? Are you happy? Are you happy I suggested this? Are you having a good time? What do you need? Like, it's like, shut the fuck up and watch the TV show. I need you to take your attention off of me, and I want you to watch Game of Thrones with me, so you don't miss out any of the key scenes. Because if you've missed out the key scenes and I'm talking to you about the key scenes, I'm going to feel like you're not watching this thing. I feel like I'm engaging in something fake here. Me, I'm watching this thing. What are you watching? You're watching me. Watch a TV show. You can't do simple things with women who are like this. Right? Right? So they become incredibly unattractive to the men that they like, right? Because their codependency is coming out. Right? And she's loving this guy. And then the woman incorrectly believes that her love is just and her love is a good thing. So when her love isn't being met or reciprocated, she sees you as a villain. And then you got to go through the whole rigmarole with the woman. An absolute long thing. You got to slay this dragon. You got to communicate. The woman first has to understand that her codependent love isn't valuable, bruv. Like, actually, it's a flaw. She thinks her biggest strength. She thinks her codependency is her biggest strength, when actually her biggest flaw is her codependency. She thinks the best thing that she can give to a man is her codependency, when actually the worst thing she can give to a man is her codependency. This is why she keeps breaking everything that she touches. Everything that she touches keeps breaking apart. She's just got this poison that she's just, oh, well, if you love me, you'll drink it. Like, no, innit, right? So you got to re-educate her through the intersexual dynamics, through the ups and the downs, the pleasures and the pain. It's through all of that. You're supposed to be having conflict with your woman. You need to have conflict with your woman. Yeah, fellas, really understand what I'm saying. I'm going to close out the video now, all right? You don't seek the woman's love, brother, all right? You seek the woman. Oh, my God, the woman is incredibly valuable. She can give you kids. She can feed you as well. If you wanted to drink her milk, you can drink her milk. That's what they did back in the day. I wouldn't do it. It's a bit weird. But you could. It's very valuable. Very, very, very valuable. The woman's love, however, is not valuable. You slay the woman's love. And you guys are not understanding that. You guys are seeking the woman's love, which is crazy to me. You men are seeking the woman's love. It's crazy to me. You get the woman, right? And in return, you slay her codependency. That's literally how it works. So thank you for it. Guys, I love you guys so much. I'm going to get through to everybody who is signed up for one-on-one coaching. I'm making my rounds through. Thank you guys so much. I'm honored. Let me get round two. I've got so many things in the work, in the background. I promise you guys, things will get a lot better. I'll be offering more services and Patreon to come soon. Love you guys so much. See you on the next one.